Shalom, sisters. Call Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. We are back at it again with another Sisters Chat through the Spirit. All praise the Most High. Lord willing, sisters are having a blessed and mighty Sabbath through the Spirit. And we're going to be getting into mom guilt today. So,
Shalom, y'all. All praise the Most High. Lord, when everybody's Sabbath going well.
we're going to jump right into it. Oh, sorry, you going to say something?
I was saying, Lord, when everyone's doing well, enduring, and all that good stuff.
Kanye, this was put on my spirit a while, like for the past week, because if you know, you know. When you're a mom, everything changes. Everything changes, and we love our babies so much. And sometimes Satan can take advantage of that and have the guilt set in, But I wanted to get this definition in Google first, in case nobody's heard of the term. It's called mom guilt, and it says mom guilt refers to the feelings of guilt and shame that mothers experience when they feel they are not living up to their own or others' expectations as a parent. It is common. It is a common experience that can stem from societal pressures, unrealistic expectations, and internal self-criticism. And it says here's some sources of mom guilt. Societal and cultural pressures. Moms are often bombarded with messages about what they should be doing as mothers, leading to feelings of inadequacy. Internalized expectations. Mothers may set high standards for themselves, leading to feelings of guilt when they fall short. Comparisons with other parents. Seeing idealized images of motherhood on social media or hearing about the successes of other parents can trigger feelings of inadequacy. Work-life balance. Moms, particularly working mothers, may struggle to find balance. Most likely may struggle to balance work and family responsibilities, leading to guilt about spending time away from their children or not providing enough attention. Parenting choices. Moms may feel guilty about decisions like breastfeeding, sending children to daycare, or disciplining them in certain ways. And that was a lot right there. I want to talk a little bit about these and share my thoughts on it as well as the mighty sister Ethereum, because a lot of these things are some things that we struggle with, sometimes in silence, sometimes, we talk to other sisters about it, but, I definitely wanted to touch on this just in case any sister was struggling with this. I know I've struggled with mom guilt myself, but we got to know that it's not Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. I'm going to get this really quick. Because the Most High didn't give us a spirit to just be down and out, guilt, feeling guilty, you're ashamed, you're comparing yourself to other moms. It is no, that's Satan. This is 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. Oh gosh. Okay, come on. For God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So if we're feeling guilty and we're ashamed, we're comparing ourselves, we're not having that sound mind. You're just not. You're not having that sound mind. And you spending that time being guilty and being ashamed, and you just letting it build up and up and up and up. And now you open the spirits up. You're opening yourself up to spirits. And now, Lord forbid, you can call it depression demon, anxiety demon, or this or that. You don't want to open yourself up to these different spirits. And Abir, feel free to cut me off if you have something to say.
I'm not right now.
Okay, come on. So I'm gonna get another precept, and then I'm gonna go back to that screen because I love the points that they brought out. Really love it. The book of Psalms, chapter 119. And let me get, oh no, 119. Sorry, 13. In verse 9. It reads, He maketh the barren woman to keep house and to be a joyful mother of children. Praise ye the Lord. So we gotta be joyful mothers of our children. We have to realize that, yes, while it's okay with human, we're still in this flesh. We're gonna feel guilty. We're gonna feel like, dang, I should be doing more as a mom. Dang, I should have been doing this. Dang, if only I could take that back. But we take those feelings and we give them to the Most High, and we pray and we do better. We move on from it. We don't sit and reminisce about who you could be. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Con, before you get into those points, I want to say something real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you brought out a good point to the spirit about everything changes when you have children. And do you hear that? Is it like a background noise? Is too loud? I can cut it off. Okay. Just give me a second to cut it off.
It's okay. Hey, look, it's a mom video. Navigating motherhood. You might hear some babies in the back of our videos. But the words still must go.
I just turned it down a little bit because she do like that toy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to take it away totally. But, Con, you brought up a good point. When you have kids, like, when you're becoming a mom, there's so many questions that you ask. And you're just, sometimes you may feel like you don't know what you're about to, like. Child, I just be winging it. Through the spirit, because what works for me is not going to work for everybody. Mm-hmm. And that's what you have to remember. But when you're becoming a mom, you might have so many questions, like, how do I do this? Am I going to do this? And definitely best believe it's okay to ask those questions. Real. It's okay to ask those questions. I know for sure that y'all not going to test this. When I was pregnant with Brielle, I'm asking questions out the wazoo. Okay? Because, and it's okay to do that. But they say, when you're pregnant, especially if it's your first, boy, so many people gonna have some stuff to say, and everybody gonna be trying to tell you what you should do, what you shouldn't do, and everybody gonna be telling you, when you have kids, it's gonna be so different, and that's so true. Like when you become a mother, everything changes. Like it's not just about you no more. You can't just get up and go. It takes longer to get dressed. You got to get the baby ready. And then if you got more than one, look, the beautiful sister Yarna, she just became a mother of two. And boy, the way she be walking down them stairs with both of the babies, I was like, bless her heart.
Y'all, 2 flights of stairs, y'all. 2 flights of stairs. I got a toddler and I got a newborn. Well,
she be wearing the baby and sometimes holding the toddler. Like, gosh, she be doing it. But you just can't up and go no more. Like you really become selfless. It's really not about you no more. I know. I was telling my dad that because Brielle, stop. She doesn't use her pacifier during the day anymore, but we give it to her at night to help her go to sleep. And so 2 nights ago, I tried to let her go without using it at nighttime, just cold turkey. And she was fussing a bit. And so I think I gave it back to her, but then she didn't need it. So then I took it away. So then in the middle of the night, she was crying, and then my head gave it to her. He was like, where her pacifier? I was like, it's up there. So he gave it to her. So my dad asked me the next day, he was like, how did it go with giving her, not giving her a pacifier the other night? I was like, oh, he ended up giving it to her. He was like, I was like, we was trying to go to sleep. Like, we were not trying to hear crying in the middle of the night. He was like, you should have thought about that before you had kids. He was like, you should have thought about that before you had kids. What you mean you don't hear crying in the middle of the night? You don't hear crying in the middle of the night. Let her cry.
Man.
And so I mean, that was real though. Like you go here crying in the middle of the night. Like sometimes you can't avoid that. Like, and I also say that to say you can't always take the easy route as well, because that was a good piece of advice. Like we can't take the easy route and always give in to her when she cry, because you do gotta let that baby cry sometimes, especially if you're trying to train with the pacifier. And you know they say I seen this post on Instagram and it's basically saying how when you sleep train, and you know this is a controversial topic, but when you sleep train, like you shouldn't let them cry all night, because they're gonna think that mommy's not coming, mommy's not there. But at the age Brielle is, and babies are smart, she knows that I'm gonna always come and get her. So if she's crying in the middle of the night without a pacifier, she'll be alright. It ain't gonna traumatize. Anyways, so just to say, when you become a mother, stuff really do change. You just can't up and go anymore. It's not just about you no more. Your sleep will get interrupted. You, it takes longer to get dressed. You have to you have to really work on you, because kids are sponges. They soak up everything. Like I'm telling you, they soak up everything. Start praying with them young. Start reading with them young. Like start molding them young, because these are the most high children at the end of the day. We're just the earthly parents. And so this is the greatest job, the greatest responsibility we have, training up these precious babies. And the Most High has given us such a gift, and we have to make sure that we don't take that for granted, because it is a blessing. And we really do have to practice selflessness as a mother. And it's okay to have a life outside of motherhood. Like you have to find yourself again, find you again, find some hobbies you like to do, because you're not going to be the same. You're not going to really look the same. Like I've been looking at my old pictures before I became a mother. I feel like I looked way better back then. Like I'm not ugly by no means. I don't think I'm ugly, but something about me back then was just different.
The body was tea.
I just be thinking like, how can I look like that again? Like,
How can
how
I
do I
get
do
back?
it? And it's not even just like my body. Like I feel like my face was just so different. But I think that's just something that comes when you become a mother. You're just not gonna look the same, bro. Something about it just changed. It's a motherhood face. I don't know. Like you're just gonna be different. Your spirit's gonna be different. Your personality's gonna be different. You're gonna be in mama bear mode. You're gonna see life differently. Everybody's not coming around my child.
Okay.
So it's a lot of stuff that's gonna change, and that's okay. You have to give yourself grace, because you're trying to figure it out, and you're gonna be learning as you go. So don't stress and overthink about, oh, how am I gonna do this? How am I not gonna do this? Oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. The Most High will guide you. He saw you fit. He will guide you. And I'm telling you, I had the same exact questions. You're just gonna be moving through the spirit for real. Like it's gonna become innate. It's already in you.
Yeah.
It's already in you. It's already in you. So I'm telling you, everybody gonna be like, you're doing such a great job. Oh my gosh. And it's really our praise the Most High, because this is gonna be literally your spirit guiding you. Because it's like I'm not true to this. I'm new to this. Okay.
Okay.
I just wanted to say that. And let me see if I had a precept again. But yeah, I just wanted to just say that. Oh yeah, I did have a precept. Can you get Psalms 127, Baba Kashah?
Um,
Okay, this is Psalms 27 and 3. Lo, children are inheritance of the Lord, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. So children are inherited. That's such a gift. That's such a blessing. And the Most High has blessed us with this amazing gift. Like I promise you, I feel like motherhood is the greatest gift. Like outside of being this truth, of course, call it Habashim Yahawah. But motherhood is and being a wife, motherhood is the next gift after those two. Like it is such an honor. It is such a blessing that the Most High sees us fit to train up these beautiful babies. They're so precious. They're so innocent, and it's our job, because these are his kids first. He's not here, baby. Can you go to Jeremiah 1:5? And it's so beautiful, like to see them come into their own. Like with my head, we were just talking before he left for camp that we were just looking. It was like Brella's getting so big. Like she's getting long. She's getting tall. She's crawling everywhere now. Like 1:5.
oh, sorry.
You good. And it's just like it's such a beautiful thing to see them go from newborn to come into their own personality. And it's so nice. It just really make it, just enjoy every moment of it. Like don't be lashing out on your kids. Like, did you already get that precept in Psalms 113?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want to be joyful mothers. Like don't be always lashing out at your kids because you overwhelmed or you frustrated, because one normal day to you is a memory of their childhood. And again, kids soak up everything. So what example do you want to set as a mother? How do you want them to remember you? You don't want them to remember, oh, my mom, she was always mad and yelling at me when I grew up. I couldn't do nothing. It's people that actually say that now because that's how their mom actually was.
Yeah.
This Jeremiah 1 and 5, before I formed in the belly, I knew thee, and before I came myself out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So the Most High, He knew our babies before. He already knew our kids. These are His kids. Okay, we are the earthly parents. This is our job to raise up His children, His laws, His commandments. Can you go to Proverbs 22:16, please? That's why it's important to instill the fear of the Lord in your kids now. You know, train them up now. Pray with them um, now.
That's it.
That's not it. Um,
Sorry.
Hold on. I think it's 2026. Go to 2026, please.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Um, I was just telling sister this the other day, like, make sure you're reading to your child every day. It don't matter if they're a baby. Their spirits understand. Make sure you're praying over them every day. Praying throughout your pregnancy, over your womb. Because ultimately, again, these are the Most High's kids. You got to be praying over them. You got to instill that word into them, because I guarantee you, you make sure your baby got their snacks and their food every day. How much more of the most important food, this daily bread, these words of life, these refreshing waters. They may not be able to really read and understand what it's saying, but their spirit understands. You have to start young, because I'm telling you, again, kids are very smart. They're very, very smart. They soak up everything. So just imagine if you're praying and reading with your kid from their baby up until they're one. By the time they get two, they gonna know what praying is. I'm telling you, they
Yeah.
gonna know what praying is. They gonna know how to raise their hands up. Bria, she already did it. I'm sure y'all picture. All praise to Him. So she already did it.
And
I'm
I
saying
see
you gotta
this.
instill the fear of you of the Most High in your. Oh dang! I just passed the picture. You got to instill the fear of Yahawah in your kids now. And that's ultimately what the Most High has called us to do, because we know that the whole duty of man is to fear God and keep His commandments, as Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 say. So, just remember that as a mother. Most importantly, we're here to do the Lord's work and train up His kids. I saw you on that. Let me show you this picture real quick. It was so beautiful when my head took this picture. It just goes to show. And she wasn't even a year old in this picture. I don't even know how old she was in this picture. She was like, maybe like, I don't even know. Anywhere from 9 to 10 months, 7 to 10 months. I don't even know for real. But just
Okay.
imagine, as they get older. I just started this one right here, because that's what she see us doing. And so it's like, however, whatever you do, your kids they're gonna do that. They're gonna do that. But I just started this, and if you're not sure how to like incorporate the word with your kids, it's definitely will get easier when they're older, because you can do like worksheets with them, activities with them. But there's a I gotta find it, but there's a sister, she sells like Bible like activity cards for the little ones, and they be real cheap. She actually was just having a sale and giving most of it away for free. Let me see
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I found her. It's right here. It's called Mama Homeschool Room. She closed for the Sabbath, of course, but Mama Homeschool Room, and she sell these little PDF cards you can print, and they got this freebie, keep the Sabbath day holy picture cards, Deuteronomy 28 picture cards. Those are only $1. Those are 30. She got the freebie, no, that's wicked picture card. So holidays, unclean food, all that stuff. You can even start reading those with them. You know what I'm saying? Make it like you have to make a routine. Like pray with your child every morning. Like I pray with Bria every morning when she wakes up. Pray over your child every night. And I just started this new routine where I read a chapter of Psalms to Bria every night. So even like have a, how they do bedtime story at night. Have a little bedtime Bible reading at night before your baby close that. Because when Bria be tired, you lay her down her crib, she go to sleep within 5 minutes. I'm not even joking. Like I put her, I was like, dang, bro, I just put you in there. So know your child. Make sure that know your child. Make it fun. Make it fun for the kids. There's Little Israel music. I think that's what they call. They got songs on there. They got the ABC alphabets, but Bible ABCs on there. and they got like feast day songs. So get into this stuff, make it fun for your little ones. Do activities with them, teach them the Lord's Prayer, like instill the Most High's word in them. But I yield. That's all I have to say for right now.
Definitely utilize, as many resources out here. You really just gotta look, and sometimes you gotta get creative too. Like I made sure with Jubilee, my toddler, look, it's the new moon. We put on the new moon song. She knows the new moon song. She knows in the little. If you see the new moon song, they be how do we keep the Jubilee break? She be doing this. It be so cute, but she know about the new moon song, and she know about the
Right. And
Sabbath
see,
song. Every
that's
Saturday,
yep.
you gonna hear the Sabbath day song. You look, and then at night, she look when she tired, she get in the bed, and she say, Amen, Amen. She don't know, but she know that we pray at night. We
That's
talk
so
about
beautiful. See that? See, kids know. They may not fully understand, but they know, especially when you start to develop a routine. That is so sweet. Oh my goodness.
all praises to the Most High, man. Yeah, so we gotta definitely, make it fun. Like yesterday, what did I do? Yesterday, I think it was yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I took Jubilee outside. Well, I took both my kids outside, but Jubilee on talks. So we went out there, and sometimes you gotta be silly. Sometimes you just gotta look inside of you. Take the adult, put the adult away. Put the adult away. Tap into that inner child, as they like to say. We went outside. I start screaming, "Hallelujah! Hallelujah!" Because we stay on the third floor, so we got a balcony. We stood right there on the balcony edge, and we were like, "Hallelujah!" And she thought it was the funniest thing ever. It was amazing. And she's copying after me. Yeah, yeah. Little stuff like that. They will remember stuff like this.
For real, make it fun because they like having fun. You got to make it fun for them. Like she said, definitely. You don't got to be so serious all the dang time, bro. Like lighten up, bro. I was just about them kids. They kids. They just got here.
Okay.
Goodness. Of course they gonna get into stuff. Real
Right.
be getting into everything now. Now that she gets into everything now. I was just telling y'all now. I took a nap earlier, good 2 hour nap earlier for all praises. But I woke up mid nap because bro was screaming in her crib, and I was fresh. I said, "Bro, stop all that screaming, like screaming." But then I got her to her crib, gave her a hug, wiped her tears. I put her down on the floor with her toys, and I went back to my nap. Woke up and my living room was a mess. And like I told y'all, when I said I wasn't mad at all because I knew what I was doing. And look, I got to sleep. She got to mess up and play. Hey, it's a win. Okay, I just needed my nap.
Okay.
And it is what it is. That's what worked for me at that time. So I got my sleep in. She got her nap in too. Look, she woke up from it early. So hey,
A win is a win. Okay. I wanted to get this really quick because, and I understand every sister might not have a daughter, but we got daughters. We girl moms. Okay. And this one hit different for me personally. This is Ezekiel 16:44. Behold, everyone that uses proverb shall use this proverb against thee, saying, as is the mother, so is her daughter. So we also got to keep in mind, circling it back to mom guilt, if you're that sister that's just always down and out, you let your emotions overtake you, whether it's, you're mad all the time, you're short wrath, you snapping on them, even snapping at their dad. Lord willing, sister, our children got men in the household or fathers, you don't want, they're watching everything. They're watching everything. So we gotta make sure our spirits are in line, make sure that we're moving in the spirit so that they can move in the spirit. If you always quick to give them a whooping because they dropped their popsicle on the ground, like, you hitting them. And now when they go to, I know some sisters, they take their kids to daycare. Now she's hitting everybody in the daycare. And you thinking, dang, well, why is my daughter hitting? Why is my son hitting? Because you always beating them up for nothing. For nothing. So we gotta look now. We gotta get it together. We gotta get it together.
yeah, gotta be gentle with these babies, man. These the Most High's kids. He gonna get up with you if you over there overly just whooping on them. Stop. That's nasty. Over here eating the charger, bro. But you do gotta know when to discipline your kids, of course, but not a rod. Can you get that real quick, please? But it's a balance to everything. Again, they're kids, like they're gonna get into stuff. Like Brielle, she be throwing her food down if she don't like something. And this sister sent me a video of a father showing his son what's gonna happen if he do that. So his son threw the food down and he had got the bear and started beating on it and like really beating on it because the and then the son didn't throw no food down after that again. So when Brielle threw her food down, I thought in my head, I said, it's time to do that video. It's time for me to go get a stuffed toy, a teddy bear, act like the teddy bear throwing food down, and pop the bear. So she knows, stop throwing your food down. Like I will get onto her about that because we not, and that's what I'm saying. Like you have to start doing stuff young. Like they're gonna eventually understand. Like, don't just let now, of course, kids are going to get into stuff and be kids, but don't just let your kids do anything, no matter how old they are. Mm-hmm. I know my head was telling me that a few months ago because he was annoyed that Brielle was crying a lot. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, she's going to cry. And he was like, but no, she know what she be doing. She know what she be doing. I was like, I'm not popping her for crying. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Basically saying that she know what she's doing and she's getting over on me and blase, 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 and we need to start. He was like, spare not the rod. But
for real.
I know. I was like, Mama got you. Mama got you. But kids are smart. They do know now. Yeah, again, they will know. Okay, if I cry, and if and sometimes Brielle, she dead serious don't be crying. Like she just be making noise, and there be no tears on her face. Like she would be screaming, all of that, dry face, no tears. Like there's nothing even wrong with you. Like there's nothing wrong with you. But again, now don't just let your kid do anything now because you gotta stop. Again, we gotta start young. So like for example, if you constantly let them, I'm gonna give you an example. Brielle, when she was younger, she would hit me, and I would pop her and be like, "No, you don't hit mommy." And I've said just like that, you don't hit mommy. You got to start young because if you don't tell your kid no, don't hit mommy, they're gonna think that it's okay to hit you. Mm-hmm. Like if you don't teach your kids how to clean up, they're gonna think that they don't have to clean up. If I don't pop Brielle and tell her to stop throwing food on the floor, she's gonna throw food on the floor all the time wherever we go. For example, even with Pepper, you have to instill obedience into your kids to the spirit. Like for example, with our dog Pepper. He will like try to come sit in our face while we eat. I don't play that. Pepper was my dog when I was living with my parents, and then I brought him down here. My dad really took care of Pepper. He didn't play that either. Like we don't play that. We don't play dogs in the kitchen while we cooking, dogs in our face while we eating. We don't do that stuff. But my head, he's never had a dog, so he'd be like, "Babe, no, he good." No, he's not, because then company come over, and then he's sitting in their face, and I got an untrained dog. No, that's nasty. Get out them people's face. So I don't even let him like get in our face for while we eating. So you gotta, stuff that's not cool that they shouldn't be doing. You gotta let them know that so they don't have to do that. Like for example, we had a feast day one time, and a sister, it was Passover, and a sister had some unleavened bread in her hand, and I was holding Brielle, and Brielle took the sister bread out of her hand. I was like, oh my god, but she was trying to. So I was like, bro, and I was like, I gotta show her like she can't just be taking people food out of their hand, because I don't need nobody thinking my kid just go around taking people food out of their hand. Like I don't need that. So there's some stuff you need to nip in the bud now, or they're gonna keep doing it for real. So let me get this up real quick. Proverbs, what's this? What chapter?
This is Proverbs 23 and 13.
Okay. This is not the one I was talking about, but it's okay. It's still a good one. Withhold not correction from the child. Oh, well, it goes perfectly. For if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. So don't withhold correction from your child. Correct them when they're doing something wrong, so it don't become normal behavior. Like correct them, because even the small stuff add up. You know what I'm saying? So, and they go out again, and they go out to daycare, and like you said, you wondering why your kid doing this. Or they go around other kids. Like, you don't want your kid going around other people's kids, hitting on them, biting on them because you let them do it at the house. Or messing up their house because you don't make them clean up. or they go to other people's house and they snatch the food out of people's hand because you let them do it to you. Like you have to
Mhm.
correct the children at home so when they go out in public, they represent most importantly, the most high, they represent your household that you're training them up right. Because then people gonna be looking at you like, dang, she got her kids in order. What's going on
Yeah.
with her? And people real life will do that because as our job as women, your kids gotta be in order, and you don't want your kids walking around acting like they got no home training, ain't got no sense because that's your job as a mother to instill that home training in them. Are you?
Exactly. Con, I wanted to read verse 14 too. Thou shalt beat him with the rod and shalt deliver his soul from hell. So, ultimately, like Sis was saying, we all represent the Most High. And especially us, Israel, we don't play by no bad kids, bro. We don't play by no bad kids. So if you out here, you just let your kid be bad, we just like, bro, what's going on? What's going on? What? Maybe we need to have an intervention. What's going on? But if you beat him with the rod, he shall not die. It's okay to give him a little pop on the head. Nope, don't touch that. No, don't do that. You can't just let your kid do everything. They run around with scissors, and you just, oh well, I don't want to gentle. And I'm not against gentle parenting. I know that's controversial too, but I'm not also with it either. I'm very neutral on the topic. But
So, like, what were you saying? I couldn't hear you with all this screaming.
I was talking about gentle parenting. And I was saying I wasn't against it, but I wasn't for it either. Because look, it's okay to pop them kids every once in a while, but hopefully they don't flag us for that. But look, correction is correction. However you do it for your household, that's how you do it. But we need to take heed to these scriptures because they put it in here for a reason.
I gotta change a dirty diaper that I just changed. So, give me. I'll be on.
You good, you good.
See, this is motherhood, y'all. You gotta stop everything you're doing. Change nasty diapers. It's a
Yep.
blessing. Everything literally changes. We'll get into that more later. Like you're gonna have to make sure your diaper bag is stocked up. Like always be prepared. Always be prepared. Like take when me and y'all when I went out of town, I took real teething medicine, thermometer, all of that. Cause you just never know what's gonna happen. You always want to be prepared. Like she hasn't even been having teething pains really. But what if she had to and they ain't got the stuff? Took a diaper cream. She ain't been having diaper rashes lately. But what if she did? I ain't trying to buy extra stuff. So just always be prepared as a mother. Always make sure your babies got what they need through the spirit, all of that. Pecan.
Huh. That's real now. And even if you take that and make it spiritual, we always gotta be ready in the spirit for these when these spirits come. You know, it might be your kid done fell off the bed, fell off the couch, and now you got mom killed. Now you dang, I'm a horrible mother. Oh my gosh, are they okay? This, that. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this happened to me. And you just sitting in that. It happened 6 months ago, and you still like, man, I can't believe that my baby fell. Hey, I can't, what if they? What if they this? What if they that? It, you gotta get it together. You gotta prep your spirit for these things. Talk to other mothers. You gotta make sure your circle is beneficial to your walk. Not saying that you can't be friends with, sisters that don't have kids or sisters that aren't, but it's profitable to be around those, especially that are more experienced than you. So when stuff like this, they can tell you about stuff like this. So when it comes, if it comes, it may not even come. But if it does, you'll be ready. You'll be prepped through the spirit, and you can foresee that evil and be like, okay, I know this, and this. Okay, let me prepare for this. So I wanted to get this in 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and verse 15. Mother, embrace thy children, bring them up with gladness, make their feet as fast as a pillar. For I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. So as mothers, we need to embrace our children. Bring them up in gladness. Like we were saying earlier, be silly with them. Be fun, but also, have that just balance. Like we were saying earlier with the correction. But this we have to embrace our children. We have to love them. And we know that really love is keeping the commandments. So we gotta teach our children these commandments. We gotta make sure that we're raising up young, mighty princes and princesses. We have to. because the Lord entrusted them with us. And we got to find ways to decompress and stay grounded in the Most High, because I know a lot of times sisters be overstimulated. They be stressed. It's going to come, especially if you got multiple. Even if you get one, but especially if you got multiple, I can imagine you gonna be overstimulated eventually. But that's when you decompress. You do your breathing, whatever works for you. You can take a step outside, take a step out of the room, just get together, read a little precept too, keep precept in your mind, do what you got to do. But you don't want to be angry, mommy. All that they remember, mommy, is being angry, overstimulated, frustrated. Mommy's crying in the corner because both of the babies are crying. You gotta stand up for these little ones, because just like Sister said, they're sponges. They're gonna remember these things eventually. The longer you continue to not be in the spirit, no spirit, because spirit's hot. Spirit's hot. And you don't want to put no spirit on your children that's not of the Most High. So when things get crazy and kids do what they do, being kids, you want to stay grounded, stay calm, because you want to show them like, hey, even when things get hard, we're standing firm in the Most High. And that's, again, how you make their feet as fast as a pillar. We want to raise children that are grounded in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Pillars, you can't just come up and punch a pillar and it's going to fall. No. You solid as a rock. And that's how we want to be. That's how we want to be. So I'm going to go down a little bit. Actually, let me get 17. Verse 17, fear not thou, mother of the children, for I have chosen thee, saith the Lord. So the Most High has chosen us, again, to be the mother of these children. That is very, very special. This is our office. If you're a mother, this is your office. And we got to do everything with our might. We got to do everything with our might. So whatsoever we're find to do, we got to do it with our might. So you can't be having that spirit of fear. Oh, my child, I don't know if my child's going to grow up to be in the world. Oh, is my child still going to be in the truth? Is my child going to make it into heaven? Look, fear not thou, mother of the children, for I have chosen thee. The Most High has our children in his hand. We have to pray over our children. We have to pray this and believe it. You got to believe it. So we can't let guilt or these different spirits thinking bad things are going to happen to our kids, or thinking that, they're going to hate you when they get older, whatever sisters be thinking. We got to rebuke that because of Satan. You got to rebuke that. Because Satan knows how much we love these kids, so of course he's going to come and attack. So, got to remember, the Most High chose us as mothers. It's very, very special. Everyone doesn't get to be mothers. So let's push through those thoughts. Put those thoughts to rest, okay? You got to push through. You got to push through. You got to get up. You got to get up. So,
very beautiful advice you gave. Very, very beautiful advice. Definitely want to be, like we were saying, playful, joyful with your kids, not always snapping on them, because that's what they're gonna remember. They definitely gonna remember it, especially as they get older. And like you said, spirits hop. That's ultimately a spirit on you, and then you passing that spirit on your kids, and you wonder why your kid acting out, or they not as playful, or they always doing the most. It's because they got spirits in them.
yeah.
And you probably passing them on to them because you out of the spirit. That's why it's so important that we train up our kids in this word. Read to them every day. You make sure they get their snack and their breakfast and lunch every day, or they get them some drink. Get them this. Can you get the daily bread, Precept Rebecca, real quick? This word is our daily bread. They need that too. Pray over them every day. And check your spirit, so you make sure you're not passing your spirit on to them. I think it's in Matthew. Oh, yes. Give us today our daily bread. This is our daily bread. This is our daily bread. And also Matthew 4 and 4.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Yeah, they be like that. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh. So we live off this true living word. That's the true bread. The living word is our true bread. And that's how we truly live, especially in the spirit. We got to remember that we're fighting spiritual warfare. So you have to, give, even like we were saying, make it fun. Do some biblical trivia, some flashcards. The mama's homeschool. I'm gonna drop the link, Lord. Well, I'm gonna drop it in the chat right now. Mama homeschool room. She's closed on the Sabbath, of course, but I'm gonna put in the comments right now. Put she got a lot of. Let me see if you go through. Let me know if y'all see it on y'all end for anybody that's watching, because I just put it in there. Because it's not popping up on my end. But do some activity flashcards with them. Read them some precepts, or and read a chapter with them. Like do different stuff. Do different stuff. Make it fun and engaging because kids need engaging stuff. So kind of you.
Come on. Switch it up. You know, you got to get something done. Put a TV on, bro. Instead of them watching, you know, Cocomelon, you could be putting on, some Veggie Tales, or putting on some, you know, some dancing, some dancing stuff. Julie likes to listen to Fruits of the Spirit, a song called Fruits of the Spirit. And every time she hears it, she gets turned. She starts dancing, teaching them the fruits of the Spirit. Stuff like that. Stuff that's, is little ways to implement Yahawah Bahasham YAHAWASHI in their lives. Don't make it fun. Don't make it also, they might not want to sit down and sit still for a chapter. But hey, you put that thing on the TV. My mother-in-law, she taught me something very valuable. She would have the Bible playing through her house all throughout the day, morning, night, and she never turned it off. Never. And guess what? Those are the words of life. Makan, I gotta get my baby.
Okay. Can you share? Am I able to? Okay, I'm just reading their mind. But
I got you. I'm still share it.
Okay, kind. Can you go to 2 Corinthians 10:4, please? And yeah, that's why me personally, I read to Brielle at bedtime because that's when she's winding down and laying down and actually being still. So you got to know the right time to read to your kids. Like you can't get frustrated with them. 2 Corinthians 10. You can't get frustrated with them if they're not sitting down and it's 2 o'clock in the evening. You know that's when he like to play, or she. You know that's when they turn. So of course they're not trying to sit down because kids they're like kids like routines. Like if they're usually doing something, they don't want to be really disrupted from that. And I know Brielle, like she likes to move around, like any kid likes to move around, especially babies. She's not finna sit still if I'm trying to read. She's gonna play with her toy. If anything, she's gonna be trying to rip the pages out. Like she loves playing with the Bible. Like I don't know if she, I have to keep it away from her because she's ripped pages out before. But yeah, I personally do it when she's laying down. Like she's laying down on her way to sleep. Perfect time to do it. This 2 Corinthians 10:4, for 10:3. For those who walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh, but the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through Yahawah to the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of Yahawah, and bringing into captivity every thought unto the obedience of Yahawah. So we got to remember that we're fighting spiritual battles, so you cannot let the spirit of mom guilt consume you. You got to keep your minds on things above because, like the sister was saying, the Most High chose us to be mothers. That is such a blessing. Everybody does not have that gift because some women are struggling with infertility. Some women have suffered from miscarriages. It's hard for some women out here. So the fact that you were able to bear children with no problems at all, no problem at all. Oh, praise to the Most High. Don't take this for granted. Do not take this for granted. Sometimes I don't know why I do this, but sometimes I just think about like tomorrow's not promised and any day things could change. Like what if I didn't see my kids the next day? What if I didn't see my husband the next day? And I don't know why I think about that because it really it's not really things above, but sometimes I kind of think like that. It's real though because tomorrow's not promised. Sometimes I think like that to kind of get myself together. Like I need to be making sure I'm being the best mom and wife that I can every day. I need to be making sure that I'm enjoying every moment with my family, and I'm loving on them every chance that I get, and creating all these beautiful memories because tomorrow's not promised. And I don't want to be the last. I don't want the last memories to be me mad at my husband about some child that's just stupid, or me screaming at my daughter, and she's been a child playing with toys, of course. So it's like, don't forget how blessed you are as a mother, um, and how much of a gift this is. So don't let Satan consume you, because ultimately these are spirits. If you're constantly consumed by that mom guilt spirit, it's gonna take you away from doing what you're supposed to do as a mother. You're supposed to be being a joyful mother and train them up in His word. So can you go to Isaiah 26:3, please? This Isaiah 26:3, that will keep in perfect peace whose mind is stayed on thee because he trusts in thee. The only way we can have true peace is if we keep our minds focused upon the Most High Yahawah Bahashaam YAHAWASHI. We have to, and it says, whose mind is stayed on thee because he trusts in it. We have to trust in the Most High. I'm going to give verse 4 too. Trust in the Lord forever, for in the Lord Yahweh is everlasting strength. We have to trust in the Most High Yahawah Bahashaam YAHAWASHI. He's going to guide us to be those great mothers. Trusting that, he's going to protect your kids too, because one thing about pregnancy, um, and I had seen this video on Instagram, and the sister saying, but she basically was idolizing her pregnancy and didn't even know it, because she was trying to, like, she wanted to know every little thing, like what was going on every single moment, like stressing about all the little stuff. And I've told, I can't remember who I was having this conversation with, but it's like Dr. the priest that we put in Jeremiah 1:5, early to the spirit, the Most High knew us when we were in the womb. Before I formed thee, I knew thee. He knew us when we were in the womb. Let me read it again real quick. This, you don't got to get it, y'all, and I'm just reading off my phone. But this Jeremiah 1:5. Before I formed in the belly, I knew thee, and before thy came forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So before the Most High even formed us in the belly, He knew us. And she basically saying that she was idolizing her pregnancy and didn't realize it, because she was basically trying to like always be like wanting to know every little single thing. And one thing about pregnancy, it will try to bring a spirit of worry. And that's why we're doing this video, like navigating mom guilt and navigating motherhood and mom guilt, that spirit, because you don't want to you don't want to stress about everything. Like the baby is the baby is in the womb for a reason. So you don't see like you have to trust in the Most High that He sees every little thing, because He does. That's why you should be praying over your womb and praying over your kids every day. You're not going to always see every little single thing. Even if you're at home, you may not always see every little single thing, because you might be in the kitchen, your baby might be crawling around. That's why you got to pray over them. The Most High, He's the one that has eyes in the back of His head and everywhere. We don't got eyes in the back of our head. He's the one that has eyes and ears and sees every single thing. He's the one that's watching your baby in the womb 25/8, 24/7. He's the one that knows everything that's going on in your womb. So don't be stressing about, oh, is the baby okay? I have to let the baby move. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is the baby okay? Oh my God. Like, don't stress about that stuff. Trust in the Most High that He has His hands over your womb. And that's something that I've prayed, that the Most High keep His hands over my womb. That's something that I've prayed, and do pray, if you feel what I'm saying. But trust that the Most High is going to keep His hands over your womb. If you're pregnant, trust that your pregnancy and your labor goes well. Me and y'all, now we did a home birth video. We did a video talking about our home birth experience. No, it was Salakia. We did a video talking about natural birth, because her first birth was at a birthing center. And then she just had this one at home. I praise the Most High. I have Braille at home, and I plan to have this one at home again too, Lord willing. But dang, what was I saying? Yeah, we did a video about natural birth, and we talked about like preparing for it, and like we touched on. I made some biblical affirmation flashcards. We touched on stuff like that. So definitely check that out if you haven't, Most High willing. Because it was a good video through the spirit. But if you're about to get ready and have your baby and you're nervous and stuff, just gotta remember that you're gonna feel feelings. That stuff is okay. Acknowledge those feelings, but don't let them consume you. And just pray to the Most High. Definitely pray to the Most High. Pray that your birth goes well. Pray that you get the birth that you want through the spirit. Pray that um, And I like to pray that, for the pregnant sisters, that they be surrounded with nothing but love and support, and that the nurses and doctors, whoever is caring for them, treat them with love and support, and that their rights don't be abused. And I also like to pray for the postpartum sisters, that they be surrounded with nothing but love and support. So pray those prayers in your life. If you're pregnant, that you have a beautiful, healthy, safe baby, birth, labor, and delivery, that the Most High gives you strength. Pray every day, because it's the Most High that does it. It's the Most High that can work it. We have to learn to take a step back and not be and not be in that control spirit. Y'all, when I did the video on that was beautiful a few months ago. It's not for us to be in control. It's the Most High. So pray over your womb. Pray over your kids. And can you go to um, Philippians 4:8, please? Because again, it's okay to acknowledge your feelings, because you're gonna have feelings. But also wanted to say, don't be ignorant to devices. Like, when you're battling mom guilt, okay, what are you even guilty for? Like, why are you guilty? Like, is it something you did months ago, years ago? Like, what even got you feeling like this? And if you actually are feeling the way, pray about it, journal it, rebuke it, cast it down, fast, throw up a fast, pray and fast about these things. But don't just sit and wallow in that guilt, because how is that profiting you? How is that profiting your kids? Like the sister said, all your kids remembers mom is sitting in the corner crying because she was overstimulated, or because she was mad at herself. Your Most High has given you such a gift to train these children. And again, one regular day to you is a memory in their childhood. So we really gotta get it together and really strive to be those good moms through the spirit. And nobody's a perfect mom. We're not the best mom every single day, but we want to strive to be that great mom every day, because we are their example. They have no other example. We are their example. We are the earthly parents that's supposed to be here to train them up, to mold them, and to protect them. What example are you setting? This Philippians 4:8. Finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of a good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. So think on the things above. Think on things above. Can you go to Matthew 16:23, please?
So, Akia, I wanted to read this really quick because that beautiful, beautiful, beautiful points that you're bringing out through the Spirit, all praise to the Most High.
Okay.
But when I read this verse 6 and verse 7, I feel like it plays perfectly into what you were saying. Be careful for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. Pray to the Most High to take that mom guilt away from you. Pray to be happier, be that joyful mother. Be careful for nothing. You gotta foresee the evil. You see that Satan is trying you with his mom guilt. You guilty. You feel like you're not good enough to be their mom. Dang, why the Most High choose me to be their mom? I feel like I'm failing. Look, we casting that to the Most High. Let your request be made known. You just sitting there and just in it, give it to the Most High. You haven't given it to the Most High yet. Verse
Exactly.
7. In the peace of Yahweh, which passeth all understanding, shall keep your hearts and minds through Hamashiach Yahawashi. So that peace and knowing, hey, the Most High got my kids. That should pass all understanding, pass what any pediatrician is saying, passing what your mother-in-law, your mama, your daddy, your grandma, whoever. Let the peace of Yahweh Yahawashi keep your heart and mind through Yahawashi. I kind of you.
Khan, that's a good point, Khan, because people will have a lot of stuff to say. And you also, again, you can't let what doctors say get in your ear, because, bruh, they're doctors. They're going to say anything to try to scare you. Like, you got to really just learn to tune everything out and trust in the Most High, because you are their mother. You are their mom. The Most High trusted you. So through the Spirit, you know best. You and the Father, you and your husband, y'all know best through the Spirit. So don't listen to what everybody say, because everybody is not you. Look, every baby is different. What may work for you respectfully will may not work for me. Okay.
Right.
And again, even with our elders and our parents or our grandparents or great grands, whatever they did raising us, that might have not been the best, because I mean, and they like to say, well, you turned out fine. Well, I wasn't raised up in the law. Okay.
Okay.
So it's like, what may have worked for you is not going to work for me, and that's okay. So don't let people mom guilt you or try to make you feel bad. For example, like, don't let people make you feel bad because you don't want them kissing your baby when they just came out the womb, or that you want space after you give birth, or that you don't want them spending the night until they able to talk and like until they're like 12. Don't let people make you feel bad. Don't let people make you feel bad because you don't want them eating over their house and you only want them eating their lunch, the lunchbox that you packed. Whatever it is, because we're in this truth, we're gonna be different. We're gonna train up our children differently because they're trying to train them up in these laws. We're gonna do a lot of things differently that's contrary to society. You may not raise them how your parents raised them. So people are always gonna have something to say. You gotta learn to tune it out. Don't let people make you feel bad because you're breastfeeding till they're 2 or 3. That's none of your business, respectfully. So
Right.
it's like you gotta learn to like, and we can't be sensitive either. You gotta learn to let that stuff roll off your back, like whatever, bro. Like it is what it is. Because people gonna always find something to say. Always.
Mhm.
Oh,
Mhm.
she's still breastfeeding. Oh,
It is.
she ain't crawling yet. Oh, she ain't talking yet. She ain't walking yet. I remember when Brielle, she wasn't crawling yet or pulling up or anything yet, and the doctor's basically saying that. And at one point she was small. Like at one point she was small. Like she wasn't really gaining weight how she should have, and they were saying how like I was probably thinking about needing to get her into like a program to help her walk. My head was like no. My head shut that down. And that's why it's also good to have a husband because we women sometimes get emotional. We sometimes let the doctors get in our ear, but that's why it's so good to have our husbands. They be like, nah, ain't nothing wrong with my child. Now granted there are some things that maybe y'all should go see someone about if it's actually an issue, but our husbands, they're our leaders, so through the spirit they know best as well. So, and also on the topic of motherhood, just because you are the stay-at-home mom and you are the what they call the primary parent, or you're the one that's mostly with the kids, that doesn't mean that your husband has no say so. It doesn't mean that you make him feel less of a parent, less of a father, or you exclude him, because those are, first of all, those are his kids. Okay,
Period.
that came from him. All right,
His
from him.
way.
Okay, our praise the Most High. We wouldn't be able to have kids if it weren't for our husband. So don't ever make your husband feel like he don't got to say, because first of all, them his children. They
Right.
got his last name. So it's
Period.
like, make sure you including your husband. You're asking your husband for his advice, what he think you should do, because that's what you have your husband for. We don't got it all figured out as mother, and he don't got it all figured out as a father either. But we y'all are there to help each other out and to figure it out together. Just because you're the mom and you do, because I'm gonna see how to say this, because of course the connection with the mom and baby is gonna be different than mom and than the baby and the father. But just because the baby grew inside of you, and it's both special bonds. Like there's no competition. But just because the baby grew inside of you, you're the one that breastfeeds the baby, and that's who baby wants. That's who the baby might prefer. Right then and there. That doesn't mean that you know everything. Like that does not mean that you get to basically tell your husband, "Shut up, you got it." So just
Right.
remember to be respectful, to include your husband, and to not make him feel like an outcast. Because I know when I first had Brielle, I kind of was doing that without knowing it. But it's like that's his baby too. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his baby too. You don't know everything. I don't know everything, and I can't. And I definitely know I for sure probably make it seem like I knew everything. I ain't gonna lie. But this Matthew 20, I got off topic, but I'll praise. This is Matthew 16:23. But he turned and said unto Peter, "Get thee behind me, Satan, for thou art an offense unto me, for thou savorest not the things that be of God, but those that be of men." So you got to rebuke these spirits. When these spirits of mom guilt try to come on you, or spirits of being always upset with your kids, you got to rebuke these spirits. Whatever you're working on, you got to rebuke and say, "Get thee behind me, Satan." You got to rebuke it. And can you go to 2 Corinthians 2:11, please?
Yes. 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 I can.
It says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." So we cannot be ignorant of Satan's devices. Like, again, if you're actually feeling some feelings, journal, rebuke, pray, write it down, whatever. But examine, like, what are you actually guilty about? Again, if there's an actual reason, don't let Satan like consume you and get in your head all the time. And be mindful of the things that you say about yourself, and don't be speaking down to yourself. "Oh my gosh, I'll never be a good mother. I don't know why the Most High blessed my womb. I don't know why He gave me these kids." Y'all, the tongue is powerful.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be thinking like. First of all, you don't want to be thinking like that, because
Right.
you start thinking like that, you start talking like that, and acting like that, and don't even know. You can't even realize why you moving in such a spirit like that towards your kids. But that's because it's you thinking about. then you acting all out of spiritual kids, so you being mean to them all the time and screaming because you're over here thinking, I'll never be a good mom. I don't know. I'm always messing up. I'm always doing something wrong. I don't know why the Most High chose me. Can you get Proverbs 18:21, please? The tongue is so powerful. Lord forbid the Most High take your kids away. Now you mourning
Right.
because you was over there talking about, I don't. Why did the Most High choose? I'm such a horrible mother. I shouldn't have these kids. Don't say stuff like that. Think stuff like that. You can rebuke them. Once I saw something in you, he chose you. He saw you fit. So do your job, get up, and train them babies, or respectfully.
Period.
It's Proverbs 18:21. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love us should eat the fruit thereof. So the tongue is powerful. And this is my last one. Can you go to Sirach 30 and 23, please? Y'all, girl taking a nap. She should not be taking a nap this late, but
It's the Sabbath.
you know. And we have a feast tonight, so maybe it's okay.
She getting ready for that feast, okay?
I'm trying to give her back on a sleep schedule. Oh my goodness, this is gonna be a journey, bro. This Iraq 30 and 23. Love thine own soul and comfort thy heart. Remove sorrow far from thee, for sorrow hath killed many, and there is no profit therein. So remove sorrow far from thee, for it has killed many, and there's no profit. So you sitting around talking about you had not a good mother, sitting around wallowing in your feelings, sad, mad, angry. It's not profitable. It's not profitable. It's not profitable. It is not profitable. So we gotta make sure we're putting those things off. Again, you're gonna feel feelings as a mother, like, and I think you're gonna go back to that list, right? Because they're talking about some good stuff on there.
Oh yeah, we gotta go back to the list. You know that.
Yeah. Gotta get that. All praise. They was talking about some real good stuff on there. Real situations. So with those situations, we're gonna get to it. You're gonna feel some feelings. It's normal. It's okay. But don't let it consume you. And acknowledge them, address them, journal about it, pray about it, work through them, but don't let it consume you. That's all we're saying.
Right.
Don't be innocent devices. And also, like Galatians 5 and 22 is you got to remember, motherhood is a learning journey. You're learning every day. You're learning about yourself while you're raising these kids. You know, you learn about these kids. It's all new. Okay, so give yourself some grace and just remember to bend the fruits with them. So can you get Galatians 5 and 22, please?
Salakia, one moment, because I'm reading this right here again. In verse 21 in Sirach 30, it says, "Give not over thy mind to heaviness, and afflict not thyself in thine own counsel." So you got to remember, look, we're not giving our mind over to heaviness, and guilt brings on heaviness. We can't be afflicting ourselves in our own counsel. Oh man, I'm never going to be a good mother. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I got this and this going on. How I'm going to be able to do it. You're flicking yourself in your own counsel. Go to the Most High. The Most High is going to bring you through. The Most High is going to show you the way and guide you and lead you. But kind of just want to say that.
I'll praise the Most High.
Galatians. Yeah, we're stronger than we think, y'all.
Really are, though.
You got to be alive and healthy.
And if you're battling like depression or the spirit of mom guilt and or always sad or just out of the spirit, overstimulated, overwhelmed, get outdoors. This is the perfect season, perfect time of year to get outdoors. Go outside. Get some sunlight, get some fresh air, take them to the park. You do not have to have a lot of money to make good memories for your kids. You really don't.
Yeah.
Make some fun memories, man. Lighten up, like we was talking about. Don't be so serious all the time. Always yelling at that baby.
Okay.
That's why kids grow up not liking their parents. Mama always yelled at me, bro. I couldn't do nothing.
My mama mean, bro.
For real. And again, we're striving to be good mothers every day, but look, don't give your kid, like, again, one regular day to you is a memory in their childhood. There's this quote that say, some days motherhood rock me, some days I rock motherhood, but either way we rocking. Okay, that's what we live by. Because either way we rocking. Some days, look, I got motherhood down pat, and other days motherhood just took me by the hair and whooped me, drug me slow, got my nose bleeding. But look, we get up and we strive to be better every day. This is Galatians 5 and 22, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. So we have to remember ultimately to be in the fruits with our children, and to be that example for them. I would be lying if I say I didn't get overstimulated or overwhelmed at times. But breathing helps. Going to take a moment to pray helps. Like when Brielle starts acting crazy, all that screaming and hollering, that stuff stresses me out. I go throw up a prayer because look, I don't got time for this right now. I go throw up a prayer. Sometimes I be rebuking Satan off her because why are you doing all that? You are doing the most right now for nothing. Like you got to better perceive these spirits because spirits help on kids too. Especially like if I'm about to read and she started out hooping and hollering, Satan, get thee behind me, get up off my daughter.
Okay.
Look, you got to be able to perceive, and you know what I'm saying. Satan real crafty, so kind of you.
For sure. That APTTTMH YAHAWASHI. Get off of my children. Okay? I promise you. I promise you,
For
man.
real, but for real, because sometimes she get to doing the most. Like before we got on here, before we should do our live, she was screaming. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, there's actually nothing wrong with you. I rebuked her. I rebuked Satan off her.
Yeah, man.
Tripping out. So you gotta look fight spirits with spiritual stuff.
That's right. That's right. They're not exempt. As soon as they come into this world, you in this flesh, you get attacked by spirits, whether you know it or not.
Exactly. So that's why it's so important to be praying over your kids and instilling the word with them every day. And we already gave some ideas and stuff how you can do that. So just make sure you watch the video from the beginning.
Come. I wanted to go back to 2nd Ezra chapter 2 and get this verse 29. My hand shall cover thee so that thy children shall not see hell. So, like we've been saying, the Most High got us, the Most High got our children. So we shouldn't be giving in to Satan's devices thinking, oh man. Because I know a lot of people, and I'm going to be honest with y'all, the spirit be hopping on me too. When we get in that car, let me not be the one driving. Abiri will tell you. I'm like, wait, hold on. You don't see that car? Bruh. I'm telling you.
I don't like driving with her, bruh. I be ready to put, do you want to be the driver?
Y'all, it is so bad. I do it to my husband. Yeah, mommy does it to that. And look, I be having to pray, y'all. I be having to pray. Because if I'm not in the driver's seat, the spirit be real bad. I be like, dang, what that car, like, it don't always be the driver. It just be, I know how these cars be. And it's so crazy. You know what's saying? Because I've never, ever, ever been in an accident before. Never.
See that?
Never. So it's a spirit. You gotta foresee the evil. You gotta pray these things off, fast these things off. It's not gonna happen overnight, but you gotta remember, just like this priest say, my hand shall cover thee, so that thy children shall not see ill. You gotta think about where the Most High taking us from, where He got us right now.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all are okay. Y'all are good. The Most High got you. That's where faith comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read verse 30. Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee, saith the Lord. And just not to go too far off topic, but even pertaining to Jacob's trouble, because I know that can be, a spirit that might be on a lot of sisters. You think about Jacob's trouble, you know what's about to happen to this place. And you're like, dang, we keep having children, or I got this child, and, this and that. What if they don't make it? What if they can't run because, they little? And then what about, you just going on and on and on. But what did the Most High say? Be joyful, O thou mother, with thy children, for I will deliver thee. The Most High got y'all. And I'm gonna get you.
That's a beautiful point. And that's why we can't limit our understanding. Proverbs 3 and 5. And like she read in Sirach 30:29, you can't afflict yourself your own counsel. Because it is a good point. We don't, because right now Brielle's 1. We don't know when our hell gonna break loose. I don't know how old she's gonna be. I don't know if she's gonna be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sometimes I be thinking, I be kind of worried. I'm like, dang, bro, like, is she gonna be able to run? Like, am I gonna have to carry her? Because I just don't know. But that's why you just pray, bro. You do what you can. Mm-hmm. That's how you control.
Right.
When you have a shot come back, when our hell break loose, it's out of our look. That's out of our that's our jurisdiction. Okay. But what we can do is pray over them, instill the fear of the Lord in them, reading over them, teaching them these laws, And you best believe the Most High will be with y'all in that day, Most High willing. You
Mm-hmm.
can't lean on things. You can't seek out things too hard for thee. Like Sirach 3 said, you can't lean on your understanding. You got to trust in Him and allow Him to guide you and direct you. And it's beautiful that, the sister can say what she works on, what she needs to work on better. And I'm pretty sure all of us have something needs to do better. Like, I know that sometimes I'll be overthinking too. Like, I don't trust people. I just don't. I don't trust spirits. Let me say that. I don't trust spirits. And that's okay. Especially as a mother, you gotta know who you letting around your kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
again, you don't let people make you feel bad because you don't want so and so come around your baby. I don't know them, and
Right.
I don't trust that spirit. So don't basically don't put nothing past nobody. For real, don't put nothing past nobody.
Con.
Um, it's okay to be mama bear. It's okay
Right.
because who else gonna do it?
Con. We're
Um,
going quick.
but this Matthew 7:7, asking it shall be given you, seeking you shall find, knocking it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeketh findeth, to him that knocketh it shall be opened. What man is there of you who, if his son asks bread, will he give him a stone? Or if he asks a fish, can you scroll down, please?
Fuck it.
You're good. Will he give him a serpent? If ye then being evil know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good gifts unto them that seek him? Um, So if you're lacking something as a mother, if you want to be more joyful, more happy, not be guilty all the time or sad, pray on it. Pray on it. Ask,
Mm-hmm.
ye shall receive, seek, ye shall find, knocking, it shall be open unto you. The Most High can work miracles. Let Him work in you, but you have to give Him the space to do so. Cast your cares unto Him, like she read in Philippians 4 through the Spirit. Ask,
Yeah.
ask. So come, make your requests and supplications known.
Con. Oh, I want to get this real quick. Going back to Second Ezra chapter 2. Mighty point, sister brother. Mighty. Finishing off on that, verse 31. It says, remember thy children that sleep, for I shall bring them out of the sides of the earth and show mercy unto them. For I am merciful, saith the Lord Almighty. We gotta remember the God we serve, y'all. We gotta remember the Most High is merciful. He loves children. The Most High, bruh, all throughout the scriptures, you hear it talking about children. You hear the Most High talking about children. He don't play about his kids. He don't. Verse 32, embrace thy children until I come and show mercy unto them. For my wells run over, and my grace shall not fail. The Most High made a promise, he's going to keep it. The Most High, he's not like man. He changed mind and, well, maybe. No, the Most High is merciful, and he's gracious. We have to remember this. He has our children. He got this. He the one who even made them to exist. So he got us. And I want to get this in First Timothy. Hold on. I'm gonna have to get up. My baby's back. Hold on.
See that? Life of a mother. Life of a mother. What precept you said you was getting? Never mind. I'll give her a second. Oh, she's getting it right now. Look at her multitasking. Feeding the baby and typing in a precept. Oh, praise. You want me to read this for you? You break it down? How you want to bring it out?
Con, yes, please.
Okay. This is First Timothy 2:15. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing if they continue in faith and charity and holiness with sobriety. So, you finna elaborate on that?
Con, I wanted to bring this out because just going back into what it said in Second Esdras about Most High showing mercy to our children and how he got us. He got our hands. Sorry. He got our children in his hands and how he has us as well. Just going back into, if sisters are worried about Jacob's trouble or hell breaking loose,
Hey,
or even just everyday stuff,
stop.
wondering if somebody's gonna hurt your child or whatever it is. But you got to remember that we were saved in childbearing because we made it. Cause every woman doesn't make it through child labor. Everybody doesn't make it, and especially us as so-called Black women, we have the highest mortality rate when it comes to having children. So for the Most High to bring us out of that, that is a blessing within itself. Some women they carry their children all the way up a full term, 40 weeks, just for the baby not to be alive. So your baby made it, you made it. That is a blessing within itself. You have been saved in childbearing. But we got to remember, we got to continue in faith, charity, holiness with sobriety. We have to. These are the spirits that we want to carry on within ourselves and our children. So I just wanted to bring that point out really quick.
Con, and all I'm gonna say on that is Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Again, we were saying earlier, it's just such a blessing to have children. So don't take it for granted. Like, it's such a blessing. It is such a gift. Like, everybody, like you said, everybody don't make it through childbearing. Like, some women die right then and there, or they die a few days after, and it's so sad. There's a sister named Kira or Kyra. I don't know her last name, but her husband made an organization in honor of her, Kyra for Moms, something like that, if I'm not
Let me pull it
mistaken.
up. Let me
And
see.
since she died, and me and y'all, when I was watching this show called Resident, and I stopped watching it because they took the two best characters out. I'm not watching it because it's not good anymore. It's horrible. But they put this sister in the show. They put her true story in there, and I cried so hard. Like, I actually was like snot coming out, literally tears just pouring because it was so sad. In my head, he was like, "Babe, you think you need to take a break from that show?" Like, you think you need to take a break? Like, you don't think no spirits happening? Like, I'm trying to explain to him. I'm like, babe, no, this is real. I was like, but no, babe, this is not about the show. This is a real life story. And I was trying to like tell him. And then when I got myself together, I stopped crying. I told him what happened. But yeah, it was real sad. Like they put a scene in there reenacting what happened, and then after they put the sister's true story in there, they put her pictures in there with her kids, her videos. It was actually so sad. Like, I don't recommend watching it at all. It was sad. Like, the show's good, but that episode was horrible. It was so sad.
It was
but
a
what
rough
happened to her
episode.
was basically, what you say, Ona?
So I saw like y'all saying it was a rough episode.
It was really sad. But what happened to her was she was can you go to our story and see if they got a picture of her? I'm pretty sure they do. But she had a C-section. And yeah, that's her husband, and those are her two boys. And she her husband kept trying to get the doctor to say, "Hey, can you come?" That's her right there. The doctor kept
so pretty.
She was so beautiful. Her husband kept going to the doctor like, "Hey, please come check on my wife. She's bleeding. I don't think she should be bleeding this much." He kept asking them like over and over and over again. And by the time they did come, she had lost, and they rushed her to surgery. She had lost so much blood. If I'm not mistaken, she bled for like 10 hours plus. And she died. She died on the table. Like, when they tried to give her the surgery, blood just gushed out. And so it's just like, it was sad. It just, it's horrible. Like, us Israelite women, it really be the Most High's mercy and grace. Because if it was up to Esau, we wouldn't stand a chance.
Okay.
Stand a chance. We have the highest mortality rate, and everybody don't make it. It was another a sister. She died after having birth because actually there was something going on in her brain, and her husband and her kept going to the doctor, and they were just saying, "Oh, it's a headache. It's just headache, pregnancy headaches." The whole time she had a brain tumor, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. If I don't want to get the story wrong, but she ended up dying right after she had the baby. It's just a lot of stuff that happens in childbirth, and so to be able to have your baby and to be the mother that you are, it is such a gift. Please do not take that for granted, because everyone don't have that. Everyone does not have that. So,
for sure. I'm pretty sure this sister, if she was still alive, she would love to see her twin boys or two kids.
Not twins. No,
not twins. They're not twins. So I get. I'm gonna read it real quick. In 2016, our founder Charles Johnson lost his wife Kira during a routine C-section at Cedars-Sinai Hospital in Los Angeles, California. He founded For Cure for Moms in 2017 as a response to his experience to be the voice for other mothers and families facing unnecessary maternal loss and putting an end to the maternal mortality health crisis. And I'll put this disclaimer out there for sure. Both of us, we are an advocate, for natural births, home births, for all that, but this is a situation where you do not forsake the physician. Do not forsake the physician. If you know that you might be a sister that might have, whatever so and so going on, use discernment, pray on that thing. You may or may not have to go. But this is like Sister was saying, you gotta pray that whoever is in your care, look, they're taking care of you. Because unfortunately this happens. This happens. And sometimes, this isn't everybody's story, all praise the Most High, but it does happen. So just use discernment, pray on that thing. You can still have a beautiful birth in the hospital, wherever you go. As long as you got the Most High, you're going to be okay. Most High willing. All right. And, Slocky, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, definitely making sure you're praying, before you go into labor and all throughout your pregnancy. Like I was saying, something that I pray is that, definitely be praying that whoever's looking after you, the Most High put the Spirit in them to treat you with gentleness, love, and care, that your rights aren't abused, that you and the baby make it out healthy and alive and safe, and that He ultimately keeps He keeps His hands over you and He guides the process. That's the best things you can pray for. Yeah. Really, something like birth, you really got to leave it to the Most High's hands. You got to leave it in His hands. Definitely do what you can to prepare, but hey, let the Most High Bahashaam YAHAWASHI be your defense.
Come on, I'll praise the Most High, man. I'm not gonna read this whole thing, but because y'all get the gist. But I'll read where I leave off at. Yeah, he founded For Cure for Moms in 2017 as a response to his experience to be a voice for other mothers and families facing unnecessary maternal loss and putting an end to the maternal mortality health crisis. Black women are disproportionately affected by this epidemic, where they are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy than white women. That is insane. Implicit bias, access to healthcare, and a number of other factors highlight the need for legislation, support for community-based organizations focused on Black maternal health, and access to care, information, and resources for all underserved and disproportionately affected communities. So, all praise the Most High. I wanted to get this too. Just going into how Yahweh Bahashaam YAHAWASHI, he does not play about his kids. Okay? He says it all through the Bible. And we don't want to offend the little ones. Circling it back to the mom guilt thing. We don't want to offend the little ones again. We don't want angry, sad, out of the spirit mommy. He even likened us to newborn babies. Let me get that. 1 Peter 2 and verse 2. It reads, as newborn babes, desiring the sincere milk of the word, that ye may grow thereby. So right there, referred to as newborn babies. It's by design, y'all. It's by design. I'm going to get this in Mark 9:42. And reads, and whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, this is Yahweh speaking, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he were cast into the sea. So this isn't just only about, other brothers and sisters in the truth. This isn't just only towards, the other nations or whatever the case may be. This is also literal. We know the Most High, he deals with things in twofold. So we do not want to offend these children that the Most High has dealt with us. And we know that it's a serious thing. Like, the Most High, he even goes into the fatherless and, how to, honor your parents and all these other things. It's not for no reason. It's not for no reason. Because we know that Satan hates the righteous order. He hates righteous marriages. He hates us getting closer to Yahweh Bahashaam YAHAWASHI. And he loves when children, they don't honor their parents. He loves when, the mom and the husband are at odds. the wife and the husband are at odds, or the children and the mother, they're at odds, or the father and the children, they're at odds. Satan loves disorder within our marriages, in our children's, in our families. Look, Satan, he likes the chaos. He came to kill, steal, and destroy. And look at this in Matthew 18. I'm going to start at verse 2. And Yahushua called a little child unto him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, Verily I say unto you, except ye be converted, and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. So even Yahushua right here, he's using a little child as an example. We can learn so much from our children, y'all. It is crazy. They teach us patience. They teach us love. It's a love that you will never, ever be able to describe. They teach you joy. All the fruits of the Spirit. All the fruits of the Spirit. I can go on and on. There's so much that we can learn from our children. They show us how to slow down, how to, not be so uptight, to be carefree more. They teach us so much, and it's so beautiful. We got to really just try to sit in the moment and be grateful, and try to put away all the negative, and just enjoy where you at with your children, man. Enjoy where you at. Be converted, become like little children in the spirit, like them. Because, if any sisters had a baby, anywhere you go, you can go to the grocery store, you could be already in the hospital, you could be anywhere you go, everybody, oh my gosh, oh, look at the baby, oh, the baby's so cute. They want to hold your baby. Everybody wants to hold babies. Nobody hates babies. Well, I'm not gonna say nobody, but some people hate babies, but most people love babies. They want to hold them. They want to, unfortunately, some people be trying to kiss baby. People are attracted to babies because they're so pure. They're so pure. They just came out, they haven't been in this wicked world that long, so they want to hold them. It's a spirit thing. You just want to, oh my gosh, hold them. They're so perfect and pure and precious, and they just so cute. Look, we got to be like that in the spirit. We got to be converted, become as little children. Make sure our spirits are pure so that we can enter into the kingdom of heaven. But yeah, I don't know what you want to say. Oh, this is one point. We have to humble ourselves. I brought that out also to say we got to humble ourselves, because we're not perfect moms, like we've been saying, but we're trying. And you got to give yourself grace. You got to give yourself grace and get up, do better, be willing to put in the work, because the work that you put into your children, the fruits are going to show. The fruits are going to show. And when them fruits show, it's going to feel so rewarding and be like, oh, it's a breath of fresh air. And that's what you want to focus on, not the things that bring you mom guilt, the things that you regret that you did with your children or didn't do with your children. You got to move forward. You got to move forward. And when or if the Most High blesses you with more children, you take that experience and you apply it to them. And we raising up the next generation. We raising up the next generation. And a lot of times, I forgot who I was talking to. I think I was talking to my husband. He was saying that him and the brothers were saying that, we're raising the next generation. This new generation, they might be mostly the people that make it into the kingdom of heaven, to the world to come. Because they're being raised up in the truth. They not, they getting raised up in this thing. We weren't raised up in this thing, but our children are. This is monumental. We raising up a different kind of generation. So we gotta look, get up. We doing something different. Give yourself grace, but also, put in that work. I don't know if you wanted to hop in that thing, Iberia, but if not, I can pull out some precepts.
You got it.
And I wanted to kind of get this earlier, but I'll bring it out now. The classic, 2nd Ezra 16 and 75. Let's start at 75. Yeah, all this is good. All this is good. I'm gonna start at 75 though. Be not afraid, neither doubt, for Yahweh is your guide, and the guide of them who keep my commandments and precepts, saith the Lord God. Let not your sins weigh you down, and let not your iniquities lift up themselves. So we gotta know who our guide is. Yahweh is our guide, and He's a guide of us if we keep the commandments. So the more we read, the more we fast, pray, study, move in the spirit of righteousness, the Most High is going to be our guide when it comes to everything, including motherhood. So we can't be afraid. We can't doubt, oh, I'm not good enough for this. Look, we casting them things down. And we're not letting our sins weigh us down either. Because that's how you fall into the spirit of mom guilt and, depression and postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety and all this stuff. We're not going for that. In verse 77. Woe be unto them that are bound with their sins and covered with their iniquities, like as a field is covered over with bushes, and the path thereof covered with thorns, that no man may travel through. It is left undressed and is cast into the fire to be consumed therewith. I want to pull that picture up real quick. A field covered. Undressed. Let's see if it's gonna pull up what I wanted to pull up. We're gonna see. Look at that. This is madness, but this is a good one though. Just like that. This is what we look like in the spirit. When we let our sins weigh us down, we let iniquities lift up themselves. This is what we look like. Just miserable, sad, nasty looking. There's probably all types of bugs, creatures. You don't know what's going on over there. You don't know what's going on in here. We don't want to be like that in the spirit. We want to be this. We want to be that dressed field. Nicely fresh mowed grass. Sun is shining. That's what we want to be like. That's what we want to be like. But we can't be like that if we're bound up with our sins. Our sins got us in a chokehold. We don't want to be like that. And we know that woe means death. Let me get the definition of woe, in case somebody don't know. Let's get this. Great sorrow or distress. Things that cause sorrow or distress. Troubles. Well, let's get these synonyms. Misery, sorrow, distress, wretchedness, sadness, heartbreak. The opposite of happiness and joy. See that? Setback, burden, trial. Amen. We got to make sure that that's the wrong one. We got to make sure that we're not bound up with our sins, y'all, because we don't want to be cast into that fire to be consumed therewith. We don't want to be a part of the 2/3. Lord forbid that we let this mom guilt spirit take over. And it's, let me see if I can find the story. It was a story not too long ago. This sister, she killed herself and her 2 kids. I think it was 2 kids. They jumped off of Niagara Falls. It was so sad. And her family was saying, yep, this is her. Shayanti means. They were saying that she was dealing with postpartum. Oh, it was 2 kids. Okay. New York mom, Shayanti Means' haunting final post revealed before jumping off Niagara Falls with 2 kids. And you know this is Satan. What in the world will possess you to want to jump off of Niagara Falls? If y'all have seen Niagara Falls, it's huge, it's tall, it's huge. It's the probably one of the worst ways to go. When you jump into your death and then it's horrible. You're drowning. You're drowning. And I'm gonna read this real quick. The New York mom who jumped to her death at Niagara Falls with her baby and young son wrote a series of harrowing posts detailing her heartbreak at splitting from her baby daddy, but police say he's not suspected of playing any part in the tragedy. Shanti Means 33 wrote the Facebook post under the name Diamond Scott in the weeks before police say she intentionally stepped over the guardrail at the popular Luna Island Overlook Monday with her kids, 9-year-old Roman Rosman and 5-month-old Mecca Means. This is extremely sad. And this is a demon. This is a demon that hopped on her. I wish someone would love me because the man that's supposed to does not. She wrote late last month, days before saying she was sick of irritation, anger, sadness, and rage. Those are demons. Those are demons. If you have a spirit of irritation, anger, sadness, and rage on you, you need to fast. You need to fast immediately. This is what befell the sister. And ultimately, unfortunately, her and her children had to pay the cost. What we do affects our children. Like, we have to realize that even like everything we do can affect our children, because just like how the Most High says that we're going to be judged, we can be judged through our children. Like, hey, you might not be, you might not go through anything necessarily, but the Most High might get your children for what you did. Just like us. Israel, we paying for the sins of our forefathers, disobeying the Most High, not keeping the law, time and time and time again. You read it all throughout the Bible, and we're paying for that. We didn't technically do anything when we came in the world, but look, we still under the curse because of what our forefathers, our foremothers, they went against the Most High. So we gotta realize that what we do affects our children as well. So if y'all want to read the rest of that, y'all can by all means. But it is a very sad story. I want to bring that out because it's very serious. It's not a game. These spirits. Hope y'all can still hear me. My screen just froze. Satan. Y'all still hear me? Say it.
That's a demon for real. That's why you gotta perceive these spirits and pray and fast and rebuke them. Don't let that stuff become a normal. Like that stuff is not normal, bro. Like if you always angry and snapping, you need to be praying and fasting. Because Lord forbid, that's just horrible. That's horrible. You can't make room for these spirits. You gotta fight these spirits with spiritual stuff.
That's why I don't know what happened.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I heard you. I wasn't sure what they heard because my screen started freezing out of nowhere. Saying,
I was basically saying how if you're always mad or snapping or irritated, you definitely need to be praying and fasting because that stuff is not normal. That stuff ain't normal. You don't want to do something like that, Lord forbid. You gotta can't make a home for these spirits. If you noticing, you know what I'm saying, you always snapping or angry, you need to be praying and fasting. Don't get comfortable. No, that stuff is not normal and okay.
Right.
That's the opposite of being in the spirit.
That's right. The sister said, "Powerful message. Satan is always trying to see the woman." We gotta go back to the beginning, y'all. We are susceptible to these demons, and we gotta fight. We gotta foresee the evil. Cast that stuff down and out. Okay. The only voice we need to listen to is Christ. That's right. All praise Most High. Okay. All praise Most High. Y'all still able to hear it? Just scream. Yeah, that was Satan for real. I'm glad y'all able to hear it though. I do want to go back to these points though. Let me see. Of mom guilt. Yep. Okay. We kind of touched on a lot of this through the spirit though, but we're gonna go through it and then we're gonna pull up another article. Okay. So Common sources of mom guilt. Again, societal and cultural pressures. Now with this, it might be, like we were saying earlier, mothers, fathers, grandmothers, your family member, your in-laws, it might be whoever. They might be telling you, oh, you need to be putting some cereal in that baby milk, or oh, they need to be walking by now. Oh, they need to talk more. You need to do the ABCs more with them, but what all that type of stuff. Some of that stuff, again, that's why it's good to have two is better than one. It's a husband and a wife for a reason, a mother and a father for a reason. So y'all have to. This is good to talk about before you get married as well. Talk about what is expected of you as a wife and a mother if y'all are to procreate together, and once y'all have that down pat, y'all have already talked about it, y'all know how y'all want to raise your kids, and even when they do come, because you're going to learn a lot of stuff along the way, and y'all be like, okay, yeah, that didn't work for us, but this works for us, so this is what we're going to do. Once you have that foundation, it's going to be easier to kind of, okay, one ear out the other. Some things you do want to listen to, people, because most likely puts the spirit on anybody to tell you, whatever you need to hear that you might need to take heed to. But you just gotta have that discernment. You gotta pray on it. But some things, if it's BS, it's not something that you and your husband are discussing, in it one ear out the other. We're moving on. Okay.
And again, what works for everybody may not work for you. So definitely, sometimes the counsel you're getting, it might be most I can speak through anybody. So sometimes people actually give sound advice you should hearken to, but don't feel pressured to always do what somebody tells you, especially when it comes to you being a parent, because you and your husband know what's best, and ultimately y'all are raising these kids up in the laws, so it's gonna be different. So don't let that stuff get to your head. Some stuff you just gotta let roll off your back. Don't let nobody make you feel bad. Again, you gotta have tough skin for real. Sometimes as a woman, as a mother, don't let everything get to you. Let somebody say something. Okay, whatever. This is my baby. The Most High saw me fit, and I'm gonna raise him. We gonna raise him how we see fit. Period. Don't gotta give no explanation. Don't gotta go back and forth.
Fine. Let's see. Internalized expectations. I think we talked about that too. Yeah, if y'all have, we should all have high standards for ourselves, high realistic standards. And, that's only something you just got to pray on and work towards as you would with any goal. Because we're going to fall short in this thing. That's just, it's written. It's written. But we don't want to just be willingly falling short. Still get up, still try, do your best. This a lot of moms are first time moms, or whatever the case may be. First time, 20th time, you're gonna fall short. So give yourself grace. I'm not perfect, but we're striving for it. Okay. Comparisons with other parents. Social media, it can be a real demon sometimes. If you're one of those sisters that you see all the like momhood posts, and this mom, she gets up at 4 a.m. and she cooks everybody breakfast, and she takes them on these expensive vacations, and she does this and that, whatever the case may be, whatever folks be putting on social media, and now you're getting triggered, you're feeling inadequate as a mom, you just need to take a break from social media. I'm just keep it straight up.
Comparison is a thief of joy. Stop trying to be like this influencer moms. It's social media for a reason. Okay, they're rich. They can do that. But you do what you can through the spirit, and you give your child the best memories that you can. You don't have to compare or compete with nobody.
Exactly.
So get off social media if you feel impressed and inadequate just because you see somebody that looks like the best mom in the world. You're a good mom too, because you train them up in these laws.
That's right.
Don't be silly. Don't be simple-minded. Just because you ain't taking them on vacations every summer, or what I'm saying, you don't pack them these fancy lunch boxes, you put them in a brown bag, or you don't got this big fancy screen where they can do their chores and put their signature that is complete. That stuff is extra, bro. Look, can you get that person beside rack that say all you need is bread, wine, honey? Look, you don't need all the extra stuff.
Bruh, the reason why I just laughed so obnoxiously just then is because my father, he has one. And it just made me think of that. This man, bruh.
Yeah, bro, they got that big. I said when I walked in, I said, hold on, I seen this on YouTube. That be fancy. Look, it's a little
Bruh.
screen that the kids can check off that they did that chore. Look, we ain't got that. We gonna use this whiteboard, okay?
Okay. Look, everybody not gonna have it like that. And especially in the world, money just be coming just a little bit easier. So you gotta hold on, I gotta be more specific. But yeah, look, everything's not gonna be luxurious, okay? Especially in this truth. We're going through affliction. We're trying to get the kingdom, okay? All this monetary and luxurious it's all vanity. It is all vanity. That stuff you cannot take with you to the kingdom. That stuff is not. Look, it's nice to have, but it's not a necessity. Yeah, I'm struggling trying to find this.
It's in Iraq. It's Iraq 39, I think.
I was hoping it was gonna pull up, but
I don't know why you be using that. You gonna be scrolling all day. I hate using that little feature.
this is my first time really using it. But I thought it would at least put it by book order. That's so chaotic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like using that feature. I think it's verse number
Yeah.
oh, right there. The principal things of life, 26. Principal thing for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, salt, flour, wheat, honey, milk, and the blood of the grape with oil and clothing. Look, that's all you need to spare our principal time.
Come. That's right. That's all you need, man. And Lord forbid that sisters are comparing themselves to other sisters in the truth. Now, by all means, take inspiration, because it's better to be looking at sisters in the truth than looking at folks in the world and like, oh man, I should da da da. No, we want to definitely provoke one another to good works, all that type of good stuff. Work-life balance. I cannot speak to this because I haven't worked as a mom, but
I can. I got a few tips. So I worked outside the home when Brielle was like, I think she was like, let me pause this TV real quick. I worked outside the home when Brielle was like 6 months. It was just for a few months though. It was between like 6 to 8 months, maybe 6 to 8, 9 months. I was only there for like 3 or 4 months. But it was a struggle. It was a struggle for real because I was in school too. And I still am in school, but it's not as heavy because I'm done with all my like assignments. But I still am in school. I'm doing an externship. But it was a lot to juggle. It was a lot to juggle. My house was not always clean. I'm gonna keep it real. It was not always clean. And I definitely would feel bad and feel like a bad mom at times because, I wasn't always able to pump how I wanted to before work because I was working early. I was working like 7 to 4. I wasn't always able to read how I wanted to before work. I did prep breakfast and lunch though. Like I was meal prepping then, so we always had like food. I always had the food prepared. But trying to do feast days as well, it was a lot doing homework. I really was struggling. Like it was a rough time. I wasn't happy at all because that job was draining me. Like it was just so many negative spirits there. It really was draining me. And I actually came across this journal session that I journaled about it during that time, and it was just beautiful to see the Most High deliver me out of that. But I definitely felt bad a lot because I felt like I wasn't able to pour into my family as much as I wanted to. I felt like I was slacking. I felt like I was far away from the Most High. I felt like, I wasn't doing a good job at nothing really. I felt really stressed and all over the place. And that the Most High was disappointed in me. And I just wasn't a good wife at the time. I just felt like I wasn't able to really pour into my family how I wanted to. And like I said, my house wasn't always clean. I had to turn in some assignments late. It was a lot. But what did help me, meal prepping for sure, trying to go to bed early, but I wasn't always going to bed on time because I had a baby. Had to still cook dinner when I got home if it wasn't leftovers. Had to still, do the night routine. I was still pumping on a routine schedule. It was just a lot. I was still in school. So it was a lot. I would just say, just do the best you can. Just do the best you can. Like, if I could have worked at home, I would have. But that's not everybody's situation. So that's why I also don't compare yourself because it may be easy for some people to work from home. They might have like an actual degree or career. But if you don't really have a degree, it's kind of hard to get a work from home job because really all it is customer service And sometimes when hours be crazy, 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. So don't compare yourself. Like, again, what works for some may not work for all. What works for this system may not work for you. So don't compare yourself and feel like you're inadequate or not a good mom or good wife because um, you're struggling with the juggle. You're struggling with the balance of it all because it is a lot to balance. But I would just say just do the best you can. Like if you're not able to get everything done on your checklist, that's okay. That's fine. Um, and like the sister, she brought up a good point. Back then, women had maids. They did. We had handmaids. We don't have that right now. So give yourself some grace. Just do the best you can. There's this cleaning checklist. The sister, Soulful Family. I think that's the Instagram. I don't even. This at that time her name was a Soulful Homemaker. But right now, I think it's something else. I'm not sure, but she has a cleaning checklist. I'm pretty sure she still has it on her Etsy account where you do one task every day. So that way your house don't get piled up looking a mess. So like Mondays, you might clean the kitchen. And when you clean the kitchen, you sweep, you mop, you wipe down the stove and clean out the microwave. Tuesdays, you clean the bathroom, wash the rugs, clean the tub, scrub the toilet. Wednesdays, you wash the sheets in the bed. Thursdays, you plan out meals for the next week. I don't know. But it's broken up until you have a task every day on the left side. On the right side, it's like the daily task that you do every day, like stuff just to maintain the home. And
Mm-hmm.
I customized it how I wanted. Like I did some whiteout, and I just customized it to what fit my life at that time. And so that definitely helps. Like just do so to not, and also when the Sabbath comes, you're not trying to last minute clean and prep. Do some cleaning, like do a cleaning task once a day throughout the week. So that way by Friday, you don't have to clean the whole house. That way your house is not looking filthy the whole week because the man don't want to come home to that. And this like I was me and the sister was talking like in a different season, you might be just had a baby, postpartum, or just a different season in life. Life happens, we understand, but it is still our job to uphold our home and to try to pour into our family the best way we can. And sometimes it's a lot. But you got to remember that the Lord is all you fit. So you got to kind of take that stuff on the chin and just kind of joy and ask the Most High to give you strength to push through. Like it's no sense to complain about it and being sad about it. You just really just got to push through and put on your big girl skirt on. You know what I'm saying? Just really pray for that strength. But I would just say do what you can. Don't stress yourself out. Give yourself grace. Make a schedule. Make a routine and stick to it. Meal prep on Sundays. That's what I did. And try to do a cleaning task once a day. That's what I was trying to do. Definitely stay in your word, even if like I wasn't always able to read before work, so I would listen to a lesson or I would listen to some audio scriptures. And when I got to work, I read on my lunch break. So always try to keep the word playing. Always try to listen to scriptures if you can. But there's just definitely practice that balance. That's what I would say.
Come on. You remember Proud 31. Everybody want to be Proud 31 woman, you gotta step into that role. If that's, your lot to be working and be, tending to the family, you gotta, remember that, hey, the Proud 31 woman, she was doing her thing, okay?
Okay, you gotta make that look. What she said she was out there buying land. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta make that thing happen. Sometimes you just gotta count the joy. It's
Mm.
definitely not easy, but and it helps if you have help too. I definitely had help with my in-laws. Like they would watch grill.
Yeah.
So that definitely helps too. But definitely, you just gotta practice that balance. You definitely have to practice that balance. And just you have to find what works for you. Again, what works for you may not work for everybody. You have to find what works for you and just find that balance. So kind of.
Huh. Come on. Proverbs 31:15. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. See that they had maidens back then, man. That's why we gotta work hard now, keep the commandments now. Lord willing, in the kingdom, we gonna have the maidens again, okay? Verse 16, she considereth the field and buyeth it. With the fruit of her hand, she planteth a vineyard. Come on. So, you can scream Proverbs 31 all day, but when these trials come, y'all, we gotta be on it still. We gotta be on it. Of course, give yourself grace and do what you can. And with that to-do list, you might not get everything done, like sister said, but get what you need to do. Your family needs to eat that day. Go ahead and make sure that's number one on the priority list. You made dinner. You got to clean up the bathroom. Okay, that's on the priority. But little stuff that can wait till tomorrow, it's okay. It's okay. Moving on. Parenting choices. Moms may feel guilty about decisions like breastfeeding, sending children to daycare, or disciplining them in certain ways. So A lot of moms, they struggle with breastfeeding. They may not produce as much, or they may, have to supplement with formula. That's not nothing to feel guilty about. If you do feel guilty about it, it's okay. But ultimately, we gotta rebuke that and think. You gotta renew your mindset in this thing. Yeah, you might have to use formula, but all praise to Most High, you got something to feed your baby with. Hey, your breastfeeding journey may not have gone how you wanted to, but hey, look, your baby never went hungry. Y'all still in this thing. Send children to daycare. Hey, you got a job to help provide for your household. You got to reinvent your mind to these things. It may not be what you want, how you ideally saw yourself being a mom, or whatever circumstances. You might have to help your husband in a certain season. You might have to go back to work or something. Hey, all praise to the Most High. At the end of the day.
And I wanted to touch on that. Because yeah, I had to put Brielle in daycare. I actually was working at the daycare, which is our personal side. Now, I don't know how I would have felt if I wasn't working at the daycare. If I would have been comfortable with that, probably not. But at the time, the owners, I live in a small town, and so my in-laws, they do the owners, and I was gonna be working there, so it was fine. It definitely was an adjustment. I definitely felt bad, and then while I was working there, my milk supply dried up. And I cried about it because I was sad. Like, I really wanted to breastfeed for like a year, and I felt like a poo-poo mom. I really did. But I just had to remember, at least my baby was eating. At least she had something to eat. She was still tearing that formula up. My little baby, she was still, oh my gosh, she was so tiny. But, like you said, at least your baby has something to eat. So if you're not able to produce as much, if you're not able to pump, or if you're not able to pump at all or breastfeed, it is, I'm not gonna lie, you might have some feelings about it. That's okay. Again, acknowledge your feelings, pray about it, journal, rebuke. But at the end of the day, you gotta kind of just, hey man, it is what it is. I'll pray some Most High, listen my baby eat. So again, don't let your feelings consume you and have you feeling all down and stuff. Like, rebuke that stuff, because at least your baby gets to eat. Yeah. So and like you said, if you gotta put them in daycare because you gotta help your husband, I mean, sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do for your family. Like, sister made a good point. I didn't know this, but the lioness, she's the one that gets the food. Did y'all know that? The lion don't get the food, he protects. The lioness goes to get the food. And it's just like the same thing. We women, we cook. So sometimes you got to go out there and help your husband to make stuff happen. Yeah. Sometimes it's a season like that. And you just got to do it with grace. You got to do it with gladness and heart. You got to do it. You can't do it grudgingly. You got to do it willingly. You just really got to find that balance, and again, find a schedule, find a routine, and find what works for you. So,
right. Come. Because, if you're able to stay home, all praise Most High. But if you're not, it's still all praise Most High. Everybody's situation isn't going to be the same. And that goes back to that comparing spirit. You can't be comparing, bro. If you compare, you're going to be miserable. You're going to be miserable. And you're going to be overlooking the blessings that the Most High is giving you. Some people would kill to have a job. Love to, Facts. Especially in this economy. It's hard as freak to get a job now. Facts. So if you got a job, you better count them blessings.
Okay. Listen, at least your bills getting paid.
Right. You're really struggling. Really struggling. There's some kids, unfortunately, that go hungry. Babies that go hungry. But that's not the case, Lord willing. So, you gotta renew your mind. So we got overcoming mom guilt, self-compassion, recognizing that perfect motherhood is a myth, and that it's okay to make mistakes can be a first step in overcoming guilt. Seeking support, talking to other mothers, partners, or therapists can help validate feelings and provide guidance. You gotta go to Yahawah Bahashaam Yahawashi first, of course, and talk to other moms. Talk to your husband, somebody, because it does help to talk about it. You bottling it up and this and that, and don't. Lord willing, sisters have, husbands that are, loving and compassionate. But Lord willing, you can talk to your husband. Lord willing, he can try to, maybe help take a little bit of pressure off, but he's not going to know unless you say something. So don't be that sister, you just suffering in silence, and you just down in the dumps and you just struggling and drowning and you're not telling nobody about it. Tell somebody, husband, sister, your mama, somebody. After, of course, seeking the Most High Yahawah Bahashem Yahawah, because He's the one who can change your situation.
Two is better than one. People let people pray for you. Let people pray for you.
Yeah, definitely ask for prayers. And when somebody asks you, hey, how are you? Don't just, oh, good. I'm fine. I'm okay. And you're not okay.
Exactly.
You're not okay. You're drowning and you're suffering.
It's okay to open up and be vulnerable. You don't have to be a strong Black woman. That's for the world, baby.
Exactly.
Leave that in the world. Leave that because we're supposed to be renewed women now. Be an example. It's okay to be like, hey, I need help. Can you please pray for me? I need prayers. I got a lot on my plate. If you got a sister nearby, hey sis, do you mind, coming over to help me with the kids one day? If she's able to, because some people are really not able to do that. So
right. Right. And I'm gonna get this one. Setting realistic expectations, focusing on what is achievable and manageable can reduce the pressure to be perfect. That's we already touched on that. Prioritizing self-care. Beria, she stays talking about self-care.
Okay.
All praise the Most High. We need it. We need it to avoid burnout. Okay, take care of yourself and take care of the baby.
I gotta take care of myself. This is what I do. I haven't did my feet in a while. I plan on doing them because I'm going out of town this week, Lord willing. But I do a little self-care Sunday every 3 weeks. Every 3 weeks, I do a little face mask with brown. I make me a little face mask, brown sugar, honey, lemon juice. Rub it on my face, do exfoliate. I steam. I don't got no steamer, but I make what I got work. I get me a towel. You know how they do at the nail salon? They get that towel, they make it hot. That's what I do. Put it on my face. I trim off any hairs on my face. You can do your shaving, whatever you want to do on your legs, whatever. Take off, do your grooming, and I do me a little pedicure. I know I posted on my YouTube, on my Instagram, I got me a little pedicure kit. Do your toes or whatever. Just take some time for you, and all of that at most takes me an hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours. That's all you gotta do. Set some time aside for yourself. You cannot pour from empty cup. I was talking to a lady, and I was talking to a sister, and she had her nails done, and I had complimented her nails, and I did an exhortation about this, and I had told her, I was like, dang, you always got your nails done. I was like, I'm surprised you got time, because she's a very busy lady, very, very busy. And she's like, I don't have time, but I make the time. I set a schedule, and it's non-negotiable. And that's period. That's how I got to be. Make you a schedule and make it non-negotiable. Make that time for you. You cannot pour from empty cup. It's okay to have a life outside of motherhood. It's okay to pour into yourself. It is okay to do those things. Stop saying, I don't got the time. The baby, I was crying. The baby, I was... Make the time. Make it. Okay?
Okay. So this that closed mouth don't get fed. And then she loves self-care. My Sundays. Yeah, we got to tap in, man. That's how you pour into others. Pouring into yourself first. Okay, let me go back. Hold on. Seeking professional help. Professional help is Yahawah Bahashem Yahawah. And if you want to go to a therapist, a counselor, to each his own, it can definitely be helpful.
There's nothing wrong with there's nothing wrong with getting some therapy if you need it, especially if you've dealt with traumas and stuff like that. Ain't nothing wrong with that, because the Bible definitely tells us how to handle situations as far as spirits and sadness and stuff like that. But it's not exactly it doesn't tell us how to, if somebody's been sexually assaulted or molested as a kid and stuff like that. So it's okay to have some, of course, praying and fasting about it, seeking him, of course, most importantly. But if you want to get therapy, professional counsel, there's nothing wrong with that. I would just say pray about a therapist and get a right one. Don't go to somebody that obviously has witchcraft all in their office. That's going to be some foolishness. At least go to a so-called Christian or something, so it can be Bible-based. But again, the Most High, he can use anybody. He can use any vessel. So definitely seek him first, keep him first. But if you really need a therapist with some traumas you've been through and stuff like that, I'm for it. All praises. Because in our community, unfortunately, mental health is watered down. So you got to take care of your mental health. If you've really been through some stuff, it's okay to talk about it. Because professionals, that's why the Most High set them up. They're here to help you navigate through that. They're here to help you. That's what look, the Most High set them up. So use it in righteousness.
Right. That's right. Amen. Don't forsake it. You got to use the tools and the resources you got. And this is a article named "What is Mom Guilt and How to Overcome It." This is by Cleveland Health Clinic. So you lost your cool with your toddler who's refusing their vegetables again and seems to think that hot dogs are the base of the food pyramid. Your baby has a forehead bruise, even though you only turned your back for a minute. Everyone's getting entirely too much screen time. Your boss is on your case again because you had to take even more time off with a sick kid. Oh, in your relationship with your partner, more like roommates these days. And there it is, the mom guilt. The incessant voice in the back of your head saying you're doing it wrong, that you're not the parent, the partner, the professional that you should be. You're supposed to be having it all over here. And instead you're scrambling on the daily, just trying to make sure the kids are fed, the laundry is done, your work is at least passable, and your relationship doesn't completely lose its spark. Your own needs pushed to the end of the list. You're not alone. It's commonly called mom guilt because in our culture, it's often assumed that moms bear the burden of juggling work life and parenting. But in reality, the guilt that comes with making seemingly impossible choices between competing demands can happen to any parent or caregiver, no matter your role in your family. If you're feeling guilty for not being everyone's everything at every moment of every day, you've got the mom guilt, and we're here to help. That was so real what they just said just then. Man, I'm not gonna read the whole thing because we're short on time. But if sisters want to read this, by all means, read this. Try to skip through a little bit. Yeah, we play a number of roles in our lives. Each of those roles come with certain expectations. You're a wife, you're a mother, you're a sister, you're a daughter. All the things. How guilt affect us, and as guilt builds, so does stress. And stress has a number of impacts on your physical and mental well-being. In response to stress, your body releases adrenaline and other stress hormones that psych you up and sends your body into fight or flight mode. That's that irritation, that overstimulation, that anger, all that. That's useful if you need to, say, decide whether fight off a bear or run for your life, but left unchecked in long term, living in a perpetual stress response cycle keeps your body from relaxing and appreciating the moment. And that's what it's about. Life is a vapor. We need to appreciate the moment more. We don't want to be on edge. We don't want to be lashing out on folks. We're not trying to do that. We're not trying to live with chronic guilt. Living with chronic guilt and stress does not give your nervous system the downtime it needs. Dr. Young says when your stress response is constantly being triggered, it can lead to chronic disease and mental health concerns, including anxiety, depression, like we were saying, increased blood pressure, increased heart rate. When you think about the long-term effects, you realize that relieving yourself of your guilt isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. So we got to cast this spirit down, y'all. We got to cast it down and out. So how to deal with it? Self-care. We went into that. A small study suggests that feelings of guilt are more intense than we believe our actions affect others. The flip side is you feel less guilty if you're the only one affected by your choices. So taking time to indulge in your interests means you're not actively caring for your children or your partner or your work. Your choice affects others, so you feel guilty, but you reason there's no shame in putting your own wants and desires at the end of your to-do list, so you neglect your own desires to avoid feelings of guilt. And it turns out that thinking is flawed. Skip. The result, you're irritable, you're anxious, you yell. Now you've laid on even more guilt for not being a perfect parent, so not what you were going for. So self-care is your opportunity to fill up your energy bank and lower your stress. It looks different for everyone. It's about taking time to charge your batteries. This could be taking a nap, taking a bath, calling a friend, sister, going for a walk, reading a book, watching your favorite show. This time is for you. Get into with your breath, breathing. We went through this with the anger episode. So if sisters didn't check out the anger episode, because this kind of ties into it too. Because if you don't check that stress, you can be angry. Avoid the comparison game. Yeah, a lot of stuff we already touched on. But if you sisters want to go through this, again, you see the link right there, Cleveland. Well, it says health.cleveland. clinic.org/momguilt.
You can drop the link in the comments forum, Biblical Show.
Con.
And can you go to Proverbs 24 and 16, please?
24 and 16. Okay. Hold on.
Is she saying ma or more?
Mom.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Okay, 1 second. I gotta do mommy things really quick. But hold on. You said 24 and
16.
it's okay. Okay. All right. For just man falls 7 times and rises up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. Oh my bad. I wasn't sure if you
Are you
heard
good?
me.
You go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
For just man fall 7 times and rise up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. So, Con, I wanted to bring that out just to show, like, we're gonna fall as mothers. You're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. But you rise up again. Don't let your sins weigh you down. Can you go to Ecclesiastes 7:20, Baba Kashar? It says, "For there's not a just man upon earth that doeth good and sinneth not." So, um, there's not a just man upon earth that doeth good and sinneth not, just like I said. So, as long as we're in this flesh, we're gonna fall in sin. We're gonna come short as a mother. But that don't mean you beat yourself down and you talk down about yourself and you let that stuff consume you. You can go to 2 Corinthians 13:5. So it says, "Examine yourselves whether be in the faith, prove your own selves, know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua Hamashiach is in you, except ye be reprobate." So you got to examine yourself. If you struggle with something as a mother, examine yourself. Know ye not your own selves. You know yourself, you know your struggle. So if you're struggling with something, work on it, pray and fast on it, because ultimately you don't want to be passing that down to your kids, because again, kids are sponges. They will soak up everything. So definitely work on your shortcomings. If you always quick to wrath, or you always got an attitude, or you always, whatever the case, pray and fast on it and work on it. Do not let it become normal, because again, and y'all, we've touched about a lot in this video. This has been a very great edifying video through the Spirit of the Most High. So definitely watch it from the beginning. We touched on a lot. I talked about being overwhelmed and overstimulated, always being mad. So if you struggle with stuff like that, you need to work on it, because your kids will, that you're ultimately, it's a spirit, and you don't want to pass those spirits to your children. You got to think about your kids. You do not want to pass those spirits to your kids, and you wonder why they're acting out. It's because they got spirits on them, because you pass them down to them. So what example do you want to leave for your kids? What do you want to pass down to them? That's what you got to ask yourself. And remember, a regular normal day to you is a memory in their childhood. And I'm gonna say this again one more time. It's okay. Don't let nobody make you feel bad. It's how you want to parent your children, because the Most High saw you and your husband fit to be them kids' parents. What may have worked for them may not work for you, because we training them up in this word. We ultimately strive to be godly mothers. It's okay to take wise advice from somebody. The Most High can use. It don't matter if they're in the world. The Most High can speak through anybody. Somebody giving you wise counsel and advice, take heed to it. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you don't have to listen to everything. You got to let some stuff roll off your back, because that may not be something you want to do, and that may not be something your husband believe in, because we're trying to keep this Bible. So just remember that, the Most High saw you fit. Continue to try to be a great mother, and don't let these spirits weigh you down, man. Be the great mother that you can be, and that the Most High is calling you to be. And get out of your head. Get out of your head. So, kind. And also, when the Most High shows us we're lacking in something, that's a blessing. So, kind.
Con, I wanted to bring this out really quick. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and 13. There hath no temptation taking you, but such as is common to men. But the Most High is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that you may be able to bear it. So we are running short on time, so that's going to be my last precept. I bring that out to say, Lord willing, sisters are feeling encouraged, knowing that you're not alone. This is something that most moms, if not all moms, go through. So, feel the feelings, but also give them to the Most High and try to get up, get better. Lord willing, this was edifying for sisters. And come on. All praise to the Most High. Call YAHAWAH BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Lord willing, y'all got a blessed Sabbath in the spirit.
Fine. I was getting ready for our first fruits at sundown, and the bread was crying. So thank y'all for bearing with us. But Lord willing, this is a very beautiful video. I know I definitely enjoyed it. I'm definitely have to replay this back. But call it Habashim Yahawah for this gift, man. Motherhood is a true gift. Like it's really a blessing. So do not take it for granted. Of course, you're gonna have hard days, but it is a blessing. So respectfully, get yourself together and be
Yes.
that good mama that the Most High's calling you to be, because those are His children first, and it is your duty to train them and to have them in order. So don't beat yourself up, okay? You're
Uh,
great. You're loved. You're appreciated. You're needed. You're beautiful. If nobody has told you today, I love you. The Most High loves you. Most importantly, your kids love you.
that's right.
Baby, we love
Amen.
you. Our person
We love you. You got this, mama. We love y'all.
Yes.
And we'll be back in 2 weeks, most I willing,
Um,
with another sisters chat. So make sure you subscribe to both of our channels because it might be on mine, it might be on hers. You just gotta keep up.
our person, Most High, I love y'all. Shalom.
Love y'all. Shalom.